A Bitcoin ETF can be useful, but beginners should know what it is. ETF means Exchange Traded Fund. A Bitcoin ETF is a brokerage product that gives exposure to Bitcoin through shares. It can be convenient, but ETF shares are not wallet Bitcoin. You do not receive private keys, and you do not move coins on the Bitcoin network. Second, the wrapper sits between you and Bitcoin. You use a brokerage account, choose a ticker, and buy ETF shares. Behind those shares, the product may hold spot Bitcoin, futures contracts, or another structure. So the simple chain is broker, ETF shares, product structure, and Bitcoin exposure. That is why beginners should read more than the ticker. Third, spot and futures products are different. A spot Bitcoin ETF is generally built around exposure to actual Bitcoin holdings. A futures Bitcoin ETF gets exposure through Bitcoin futures contracts. Both can move with Bitcoin-related markets, but costs and behavior can differ. Before comparing performance, compare what the fund actually holds. Fourth, ETF exposure is not direct Bitcoin ownership. With direct Bitcoin, you manage private keys, backups, and transactions. With an ETF, you own shares of a financial product through a broker. You may get familiar statements and easier records, but you do not control Bitcoin addresses or sign Bitcoin transactions. Brokerage exposure and self-custody solve different jobs. Fifth, the boring details matter. Check the expense ratio, broker costs, spreads, and any premium or discount. Read how custody works, and confirm whether the product is spot, futures, trust-based, or something else. Look at the tax records you may receive. And remember that a clean product page does not remove Bitcoin-related volatility. Sixth, an ETF is usually not self-custody. Most retail ETF shares cannot be withdrawn as on-chain Bitcoin to a personal wallet. You usually cannot turn ETF shares into BTC sent to a Bitcoin address. You also do not receive wallet recovery words or private keys from the ETF. If your goal is brokerage exposure, compare ETF details. If your goal is wallet ownership, learn direct Bitcoin custody separately. Finally, use a checklist before choosing. Can you explain the product structure, fees, custody, wallet limits, withdrawal rules, and tax records? Can you accept that the value can still fall sharply? If those answers are unclear, slow down. A Bitcoin ETF may fit some goals, but it is not the same as owning Bitcoin directly. Learn the wrapper, compare the details, understand the limits, and then decide. Learn more at SatoABC.com.